Welcome, everyone. Today's story is not just about a basketball star. It's about a spirit that refused to be broken. It's about a girl who left behind her home, her language, and everything familiar, chasing a dream that once seemed oceans away. This is the story of Kamilla Cardoso, the gentle giant from Brazil whose heart is just as powerful as her game, and whose faith, patience, and perseverance have turned her into one of the brightest symbols of hope in women's basketball. Before the bright lights, before the championships, before the national headlines, there was a young girl in Montes Claros, Brazil, who loved basketball more than anything. The courts weren't perfect. The balls were worn down. The sneakers were old. But that never mattered to Kamilla. She played with joy, with freedom, with that childlike belief that one day, something beautiful would come from all the effort. The game was her escape, her safe space, her dream made tangible. Growing up, Kamilla was always taller than everyone else. At first, that made her stand out in ways that weren't always easy. Kids teased her, others doubted her, and sometimes she felt alone in her own skin. But over time, that difference became her strength. She learned to move gracefully, to use her size as a gift, and to dominate without losing her kindness. Her mother always told her that her height was a blessing, a tool given to her by God, not just for herself, but to help others see what faith can create. It was that same faith that carried her across the ocean. When she left Brazil at just 16 years old to come to the United States, she barely spoke English. She was nervous, shy, and completely out of her comfort zone. Imagine being a teenager, in a new world, chasing a dream that still felt too far away to touch. That was Kamilla's reality, but she never let fear win. Every night, she prayed. Every day, she worked. Slowly, she learned the language, she learned the culture, and she learned that greatness comes to those who keep showing up, even when it's hard. At Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Tennessee, Kamilla's talent began to shine. She became a five-star recruit, one of the most sought-after prospects in the nation. Coaches saw her as a once-in-a-generation center. Her height, her timing, her defensive instincts, it all seemed effortless. But what truly made her special wasn't just what she did on the court. It was her humility, her gratitude, the way she smiled after blocking a shot, not to taunt, but to celebrate the joy of playing the game she loved. When she arrived at Syracuse, it felt like a dream realized. She was finally at the college level, the place every young athlete dreams of. And right away, she made her presence known. She became the ACC's Freshman of the Year, anchoring her team with rebounding, shot blocking, and dominance inside the paint. But as great as her time at Syracuse was, something in her heart whispered that her story still had another chapter, one that needed a different kind of guidance. That whisper led her to the University of South Carolina, to a coach who would change her life. Dawn Staley doesn't just coach basketball, she builds character. And when Kamilla arrived at South Carolina, Staley didn't treat her like a superstar. She treated her like a student, a sister, a daughter. She helped Kamilla find her voice, her confidence, and her purpose. It wasn't always easy. Kamilla had to fight for minutes, learn patience, and trust that her time would come. And that's the beauty of her story. She never demanded anything. She waited, quietly, working behind the scenes, doing her job, helping her team however she could. And when her moment came, she was ready. That moment was the 2024 NCAA National Championship. South Carolina's journey was magical, but the heart of their success was balance. Every player understanding her role, every player trusting the process. Kamilla became the defensive anchor, the emotional backbone, and the silent enforcer. In the title game, she was unstoppable, blocking shots, controlling the boards, finishing inside, and leading her team with poise. When the final buzzer sounded, she fell to her knees and cried. It wasn't just victory. It was release, a flood of every sacrifice, every lonely night, every silent prayer. That image, Kamilla in tears with confetti falling around her, told a story that words could barely describe. She had gone from a young girl in Brazil chasing a faraway dream to a national champion at one of the greatest programs in women's basketball history. But even in that moment of triumph, she didn't talk about herself. She talked about her teammates. She talked about God. She talked about her family watching from home, proud beyond words. That humility, that grounding, is what makes Kamilla Cardoso truly special. She's not just tall in stature, she's tall in spirit. Her faith keeps her steady. Her gratitude keeps her humble. And her heart keeps her connected to where it all began. When the WNBA called her name during the draft, it felt like the next natural step in her journey. Another dream realized. Another milestone reached. But for Kamilla, it wasn't about fame or spotlight. It was about purpose. She knew she was carrying more than her own hopes. She was carrying the pride of Brazil, the belief of young girls watching from afar, and the love of everyone who helped her along the way. In the WNBA, she's continuing to grow. Each game, she learns. Each challenge, she accepts. Each moment, she proves that she belongs, not just as a player, but as a woman of integrity and inspiration. And even as her fame rises, she remains the same. Humble, respectful, smiling, always lifting others up. She represents everything beautiful about what the game can teach: resilience, teamwork, grace, and faith. But what stands out most about Kamilla isn't just her dominance on the court. It's how she carries herself off it. She uses her platform to give back, to connect with fans, and to inspire those who look up to her. She still speaks Portuguese proudly, often switching mid-interview to send love back home. She reminds the world that you can conquer new worlds without losing your roots. And in doing so, she's become a bridge between cultures, between continents, between dreams and reality. If you watch Kamilla play, you'll notice something quiet but powerful. Every rebound she snatches, every shot she blocks, every moment she stands tall, there's peace in her movement. There's focus. There's joy. She doesn't play angry. She plays grateful. She doesn't chase glory. She lets it find her. That's rare in today's world. That's special. That's Kamilla. As she continues her professional career, the possibilities are endless. She could become one of the most dominant centers the women's game has ever seen. She could win championships. She could break records. But no matter what happens, one thing is certain. Kamilla Cardoso has already won in the most important way. She's won in spirit. She's won in grace. She's won in showing that kindness and strength can coexist beautifully. And maybe that's her greatest lesson to the world. That you don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be flashy to be great. Sometimes, the quietest people carry the loudest dreams, and they make the world listen through the way they live. Kamilla's story is proof that greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers in Portuguese prayers. Sometimes, it glows through tears of joy. Sometimes, it stands tall not because it wants to be seen, but because it was built to reach higher. And as fans, we get to witness the kind of greatness in real time. We get to see her journey continue, from the streets of Montes Claros to the pinnacle of basketball. And we get to be inspired by what she represents: faith, family, humility, and the fearless pursuit of a dream. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey through the heart and rise of Kamilla Cardoso, a true testament that dreams know no borders, and that strength wrapped in grace is one of the most powerful forces in the world. If her story inspired you, if it reminded you what belief and perseverance can create, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video if Kamilla's journey touched your heart. Share it with someone who needs motivation, and make sure to subscribe for more stories like this. Stories of hope, strength, and the beauty of never giving up. Because Kamilla Cardoso isn't just playing basketball, she's teaching the world what it means to dream big and stay humble while doing it.